Hello, everyone, little children. I'm glad to be before you today. We are going to be talking from Acts, the 13th chapter, and it's dealing with David. And there's something that you can learn by listening and observing what David had to do in his journey. So the scripture says, and when he had removed him, he raised up David to be their king, of whom he testified and said, I have found in him a son of Jesse, a man after my heart, who will do all my will. And that is a very, very encouraging thing to know. This man done what God wanted him to do. There is something in his heart that pleased God. And we can have a heart that would please God. So, what is a lesson we can take from David? Knowing that David's heart was healthy. David had a good heart. Knowing that David's heart wasn't toxic, his heart wasn't bad. His heart sought for the things that God wanted. So God chose him. We know David as a musician. He was a musician. He was a shepherd boy. He tended his father's sheep. And when God wanted to give Israel a king after Saul, he chose this little boy that would lead his people. But even though he was chose to lead the people of God, he had to still learn how to continue to lead. He had to learn, and the lesson he had to learn, he learned through doing God's will. And we can learn a lesson in doing God's will while we're doing God's will. I know by reading and studying, seeing that David was very committed to God. And are you committed? Even though you're a child, are you committed to serve God? Even if you get big enough, are you going to still serve God? God knows our heart. And we can be pleasing. We can be pleasing to God when we see mom or dad not feeling well, and we want to wash the dishes or we want to sweep the floor for them, and not charge them any money. How about that? But because you love them and you want to do something good, and you know that God would want you to do good to your mom or to your dad, to your neighbor, to your friends, even in school. Be a good example. You're about to go to school now. So have a heart after God. Be kind. Be nice. Follow the rules. Don't cut up in class, but do what is good. Now, David never left God, even though he done some wrong things. He never left God in his heart, because see, that was what he pleased. He wanted to please God, and we want to please God, right? Okay, so God looks at the heart that is willing to change and willing to do His will, that is willing to trust Him. And you may have some hard times in school and learning, but don't give up. Keep trusting God. Sometimes you have to whisper a prayer before you have to have a test or something. Pray to God that God will see you through, and trust that God will see you through. Sometimes when someone's being mean to you in school, you have to trust God to work it out for you. He was faithful. David was faithful, right? So can mom and dad be faithful? Can you be faithful to mom and dad by taking out the trash, by not taking things off the dresser, uh, or being mean and bully? David was faithful. He never gave up, even though things were hard. He never gave up. He was faithful, and he never forgot about God. He was faithful to the future, meaning he believed God would see him through. And we got to believe God will see us through. Okay? So listen, I am so glad to have just said just those few things to you today. And I hope you have a wonderful journey in school this year. And I ask that you will just keep on praying and keep on trusting. We are about to change over a little bit, just like you're going to learn in school. Me and some of the teachers are going to be learning too. So we're going to postpone service for just a little while. Don't forget about us, okay? Even when you're doing school, don't forget about us. Always put some time in or space in to learn about God. We're going to take a 2 weeks recess, okay? And we're going to come back with you with some terrific things. I tell you, they're going to be dynamite. So we want to prepare too, okay? So keep looking at us, and we're going to hook you up with some great things. All right, bye bye now.